Hello beautiful singers, this is Valerie White Williams and Vocal Splendor Studios, and today I would like to talk to you about majoring in music as a voice major. Here's the thing about studying voice in the United States. I need to be completely honest with you. Most of the voice programs in the United States, like 95%, especially at a liberal arts college, is going to be classical training, mostly. So there's good and bad about that. Yes, classical training can give you a heads up on using your breath. It can help you if you want to be a choir teacher and go on into a choral training. But if you want to sing pop music, it may or may not be the best choice for you. I wish it was otherwise, and I am working very hard in my professional organization, NATS, National Association of Teachers of Singing, to bring changes to this, because I think it's well beyond time to honor America's music of jazz and all the music that came from that. But to truth be told, when you go to college and you take voice, you are going to mostly be doing classical training. Now, in line with that, when you go to college and study voice, they are looking for people that have already had training. Now, this is unusual like other college programs. There really isn't a lot of place for a beginner to jump into training at college. Most colleges expect you to audition for the degree, and usually when you audition, you have to do at least 2 songs, one in a foreign language. So unless you had an incredible choral program that taught you these things, it's going to be very difficult for someone to get into a voice program without previous lessons. It's just not likely. It could happen, but it is not likely, because basically you need to have a lot of musical training to even get your foot in the door of a voice major. Now, that said, you certainly can take classes at a college and be in choir, and you could take lessons, but you're going to be a bit behind if you have not had previous training to get into those programs. They really want people that have kind of a basic experience of how to use the voice. It's not a place for beginners for the most part. So also, in those programs, you are going to be spending a lot of time learning theory, singing in choir, and doing all these other things, which are really great and it's really important, but it's not for everybody. Now, I'm going to be totally honest with you. You do not need a music degree to sing professionally. Totally true. There are many singers that do not have music degrees. They might have gotten a degree in science or computer science or sales, yet they continue to study and work on their voice and they sing professionally. It happens a lot. Not everybody has a degree. When you audition for an opera company or theater or anything, no one cares about your degree, really. If you have a degree from a prestigious school, then they're like, hey, you went to a New England Conservatory or Berklee School of Music, which is one of the top schools if you want to go and study pop and non-classical technique. Unfortunately, there are not many other schools that offer such programs. I think the urban areas like LA and Nashville, you might find some schools that will allow you to study contemporary music as a voice major. But outside of those areas, it's going to be very rare. Yes, and that frustrates me deeply. I love classical singing, but I think there's a lot to be studied in our contemporary music. And no, I don't believe a classical training will naturally allow you to sing pop and contemporary, because the styles are very different, and the teachers that say that don't really understand it. They don't. So if you want to be a voice major in the college, I only usually recommend people taking a voice degree if they want to teach or they really want to aspire to an operatic career, which in that case, they should probably have started in high school studying, because the operatic career is becoming more and more like the Olympics, that you have to train early and you have to have good teachers the whole time. So when you're out of school, you're ready to jump into young artist programs and doing the next step to get you on your career. It's very competitive and there's tons and tons of singers. So if you just want to be a good singer, I usually recommend people get a degree in another, do a double degree, or they take a degree in something else that they're interested in, which they like to work in, and continue to study on the side. Now, another option is you could be a music minor, and a music minor will still get some vocal training, so that is another happy medium for you. if you still want to get vocal training at the college level, and that's saying you have enough skill to get in, and then you can get a degree so you can make a living doing something else. If you do want to study voice, another thing I recommend is try to find a teacher and pick the college based on the teacher. I've had a lot of students that have gone to college without doing that research, and what happens when you go to college in voice is you're assigned a teacher. Now, if you've already made contact with a teacher, you have a better chance of getting in with that teacher because they've already like you and you've made contact with them. But I've had many students and people who have emailed me on my YouTube channel where they've gone to a college and they got assigned a teacher. That teacher wasn't really working for them. They didn't like the technique, their older teacher they liked better, or there's personality issues. And when you get assigned a teacher in college, and if it doesn't work out, it can be somewhat difficult and awkward to make a teacher change because that is not within your powers. So if you are looking at studying voice in college, go to the colleges and meet the voice faculty and find out who you think might be a good fit for you. And that could be dependent on your skill set. If you're already had a great teacher in high school and you're looking at building, then you're going to look for a teacher that can help you get stage experience, help you with repertoire. If you feel like you have technical issues you still need to work out, then you need to find a teacher that can help you with that. Find someone who has a reputation on being a good technician. And today, with Rate Your Professor and all these ways and social media, it's really easy to do research and find out who the good teachers are and where they're at. Because not every college teacher is a great teacher. They're not. They're all people. Another thing to be aware of is some of the bigger, fancier name schools that have the big music programs, that have a huge doctoral program. Those are usually the best places for undergrads to go, even though it sounds impressive. But what happens when you go to those schools like Indiana is that the grad school students and the doctorate students get all the roles and they get all the best teachers and you get the leftovers. So it doesn't really serve you. Those are better schools to go in grad school. If you want to get stage experience, you want to get a good teacher that will help build your technique, you need to go to a school that's going to give you that. So just be careful on where you go. Find out what's happening so the school really meets your needs, because a reputation isn't going to help you if you don't get the right teacher. Also, some of those schools have artists in residence, and they are working opera singers or other pros that are still doing a lot of performing. So what happens sometimes is you don't get a lot of lessons because they're gone gigging all the time. Now, there's always going to be variables with those people, but that's something else that you need to keep in mind is you want a teacher that's going to be there for you and you're not going to have to reschedule a bunch of lessons or cram them all in at the end of the quarter, because that's not helping you. You need regular consistency to build that technique. Okay, I think I've just about covered it. If you are interested in voice training at the college level, I would love to hear about what choices you made, how you made the right choice, how you found the teacher, and how you made that decision to go to the college that you did. Please share it in the comments. And if you like this content and want to be told more, go ahead and subscribe, click the bell so you will be notified of all my uploads. I love making videos for you. I can't wait to make more, and I thank you for all the support. So have a great weekend and sing on.